My name is Stephanie Mann. I'm 26 years old and I live in beautiful Boulder, Colorado. Boulder is a weird place to live. It's rumored to be full of only drunk college students and hippies. Well, it has all of that, but it also has a large population of critical thinking people. The people in Boulder are not only super aware of issues about the environment, social injustices, and democratic values, but they are also involved. Very, very involved. Our grocery store is filled with organic foods. You almost get looked at sideways if you're not buying organic foods. Or even clothing and cleaning products, containers, anything that's not organic, you kind of get looked at sideways. So, since I live on a tight budget, it's really pricey to buy only organic, so a lot of the times I'm just kind of picking and choosing what I want to buy. So I try to buy more foods that are organic than everything. But if I had the money, I would buy everything organic. The restaurants in Boulder are fantastic. We have some very well-known chefs and mixologists who live right here in Boulder. Many of the restaurants are named in Food and Wine, which is a food magazine. And they really make you feel like you're living like a king when you go to these restaurants. Right now I'm a teacher and I'm student teaching in Boulder Valley schools. And I love, 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 love being in Boulder Valley schools. Parents are super involved, which I am not used to since I'm usually work in different cities where it's more low income. But these kids in Boulder are very excited to be there and motivated to do well, which is kind of strange for me, but in a good way. Yesterday I was at a staff meeting. The Parent Teacher Association gave the school $50,000, just one high school. And all the teachers had to do was ask for it. It was kind of crazy. So Boulder has money, if that tells you anything. Of people with master grades in one area. They are educated and want their kids to be educated, so that kind of helps out in the high school to keep these kids motivated. At the high school I'm working at, 98% of the students graduate and go to college. So that's kind of weird as well, but again, in a good way. Another thing is there is so much to do here. If I'm going to talk outside of work, we live at the base of a mountain and we're able to go hiking every day if we choose to do so. We can go fishing, fly fishing, we can also, since we're right at the mountains, we can also just go up skiing if we'd like. I know that in the past, Boulder has been ranked #1 as the fittest city in the country. I don't know if they are now, but I know for a while they are, and I know that they're still in the top 10. But people here are active, and they're always in groups. There's always groups that you can join to do things, whether it's the rec center or if you just get on Craigslist and look up for a group of people going hiking, you can do it that way. One thing that's kind of funny is Boulder just got voted, I don't remember exactly when it was, but that we are the worst dressed. And I believe it. I mean, everyone dresses for comfort. They don't really care about style. It's definitely not Manhattan or something like that. But so we definitely got voted to be worst dressed. And people here are generally happy. It's a little bit weird again. I don't know. I feel like everything that I talk about Boulder that I love is what I don't really like. But it's kind of crazy. So if we just talk about Colorado as a whole instead of just living in Boulder, I love living in Colorado because I have access to the mountains and to all these wonderful sports and things like that I wouldn't be able to do if I was on the plains. And then the microbreweries, of course. We have so many microbreweries here, and I've learned so much about beer living in Colorado and Boulder and even really close to Fort Collins where they have New Belgium. So I kind of consider myself a beer snob instead of, wine snobs. So, kind of talking about what I do, like I mentioned a little bit about everything that I love about Boulder is also what I can't really stand about Boulder. We live in a bubble, and the people here don't really think about outside of Boulder. They just kind of think of, well, what goes on here is all that really matters. But even going out to dinner and I have to be around other Boulder people, it's just overhearing their conversations. It's just annoying. I want to kind of tell them to get in the real world, see what's happening outside of your little town. Everything's expensive, everything's organic. We live in a 2-bedroom apartment and we got it for pretty cheap compared to most people what they're paying in Boulder, but it's not cheap. The schools, yes, everyone's involved, which is great. They have a lot of money, which is great, but the kids also feel like they're entitled to get A's all the time, but that's just kind of the general sense of the whole entire community, is everyone feels a little bit entitled. So that's kind of why I don't like living here, is it's a big bubble and there's not a lot of diversity. I think the most diverse people we have in Boulder are the CU football team, and that's about it. Everyone else is white. So yeah, Colorado in general, the only thing I wish that Colorado had that we didn't and I don't like about it is that there's no ocean. That would be nice. But I can't really say too much bad about Colorado because it's just wonderful. So the next question was about possessions, and one thing that I've never ever got rid of in my whole life, which is rare, I just get rid of junk, were these two bears that I had when I was born, so Blue and Pinky. And I guess I didn't get rid of them just because these stuffed animals are kind of a reminder of my childhood. Okay, and then the next one is about a recent purchase. I had a really hard time with this one. I couldn't think about a recent purchase that I made for myself that meant a lot. I think it's just, you know, I'm on a budget crisis, so it's hard to go out and really spend. I did buy this camera that I'm talking to you on, which was really nice. But I mostly bought that for work so I could document my work and my students' work for my portfolio. So I guess the last thing that we bought together, my boyfriend and I, that we really felt good about was our couch. Our home didn't really feel complete, and we got it from Room and Board. So it was a little bit expensive, but they hand-tailored it to our needs, and that was really great for us. And it really kind of put this apartment together to feel like a home instead of just a place we were staying. My favorite restaurant is the Greenbrier, which is just north of Boulder. It's a fine dining restaurant, and we usually go there on restaurant week, which is they set a price out for you to pay, and then you get like a 5-course meal for the two of you. So here we do $52.80 because that's a mile high above Denver, so that's the set price, and that's for 2 people. So we go and we wine and dine. The last time I was there, I ordered the ribeye and rabbit, and my boyfriend and I shared it because he had the rabbit and I had the ribeye, and then we got the place in between. It was so delicious, and I would eat there every night if I could. The ribeye is just to die for. So about grocery stores and food stores, our favorite place to buy meats was this small butcher shop that used to be in town, but it kind of got pushed out, and I don't really know why, because Boulder's kind of a mom and pop type place. I'm thinking that the rent probably got too expensive for them to keep up with it. So now we're kind of forced, if we want really good meat, to go to Whole Foods or Alfalfa's, which is another kind of a Whole Foods type place. But it's so expensive, so we don't really go there unless, you know, we have the money. Sometimes we just got paid or it's a special occasion. So usually we go to Safeway, which is just kind of a large food chain like Kroger's or King Soopers, something like that, or Myers if you're Midwest. And then we just try to find the best picks of meat there that we can. Every once in a while we'll go to Herb's, which is that butcher that used to be here. He's about 45 minutes away from us, so sometimes we'll stop by, but it's pretty rare. So food philosophy. I love to cook. For me it's very relaxing and fulfilling. I love taking fresh ingredients, and that's pretty much all we use is fresh ingredients. I don't ever buy prepackaged. I just don't feel like it tastes the same. Every once in a while I'll get some frozen veggies, but for the most part I just like to get the veggies the day of, and do it that way. As far as food being an energy source or other, I wish it was an energy source. That would probably help me to not eat so much. But for me it's more of a retreat, and it's something that I really look forward to in the day. In the morning I love to have my breakfast, and then in the evening really have that wonderful meal before, you know, just to end the day. I think that if I was always, even on this budget that's so tight, even if I were to eat prepackaged foods or foods that are a little bit cheaper, I don't think I would feel good about myself just because I wasn't cooking as much as I could have been if I would have made it from scratch. Oh, my perfect meal. I would have ribeye and crab legs with roasted potatoes and collard greens, plus a cream-based soup on the side. To drink, I would choose a red wine from Spain with a little spice to it. We would cook the meal, my boyfriend and I, and eat it together like on a mountaintop or by the ocean, something kind of cliche like that. But I wouldn't want anybody else to be there just because he is really the greatest person to eat a meal with and really have that satisfaction, be able to talk about food in a certain way. I don't know, yeah. So we would never get full and the food would be endless and the wine would be, you know, endless as well, and the food would be cooked perfectly. And the reason why this would be the perfect meal is because I love all these foods and I'm with a great person. So, thanks. Good to meet you.